Hi, welcome to Verse of the Day. My name is Brandon Hathaway. I'm the preacher at the Westside Church of Christ in Owensboro, Kentucky. I want to thank you for joining me today as we open up the Bible and study the Word of God. Today we are in Mark chapter 6. Mark 6. I want to look at verses 1 through 6. Here it says, Jesus went out from there and came into his hometown, and his disciples followed him. When the Sabbath came, he began to teach in the synagogue. And many listeners were astonished, saying, "Where did this man get these things? And what is the wisdom given to him, and such miracles as these performed by his hands? Is not this the carpenter, the son of Mary, the brother of James, and Joseph, and Judas, and Simon? Are not his sisters here with us?" And they took offense at him. Jesus said to him, "A prophet is not without honor except in his own town, and among his own relatives, and in his own household." And he could not do miracles there except that he laid hands on a few sick people and healed them. And he wondered at their unbelief, and he was going around the villages teaching. I think one of the hardest things as a Christian, a follower of the Lord, is when we get caught up in differences with our family and our really, really close friends. Those who are basically family, but not blood, right? When we come to not believing the same thing or disagreeing on our faith and what is necessary for salvation, or when somebody falls away from the Lord's church, that can be some of the hardest things to face as we go through our walk with the Lord. And the point here is that it's nothing, again, it's nothing new. That it's something even Jesus, as he was going and doing his ministry, he's doing his teaching and spreading the word and preparing people and performing these miracles, even he faced this, right? He, in his own hometown where he was raised, people look at him saying, "Well, I knew you when you was a kid. I knew you when you was an infant. I remember babysitting you, I know your siblings. I know your family. I know how you're growing up. How can you be better than how can you know more than me? How can you?" And so it comes down to that history that you have with them, and it makes it hard for them to accept what it is you're teaching, but also for them to take you serious. They may know your past and your shortfallings as a young one, and it just causes more obstacles to overcome. But it's nothing new. Jesus here, he's with his brethren, his sisters, and those in his own town, his own family. And they can't accept who he is and what he is doing. Rather, they look at him, "You're just a carpenter, right? You're the carpenter, the carpenter's son. Here's your siblings, and we know your mom." And they had a hard time accepting who he was. Had a hard time accepting what he was teaching and receiving those things. And that's Jesus brought out, "The prophet is not without honor except in his own town, among his own relatives, and in his own household." We know later on he has his brother that believes and goes on to teach, and so we have that it's not impossible for any of these, but it is a more difficult thing. That makes it hard on us too, because we want to keep a good relationship with our family. We don't want to rock the boat, and we want to get along with all, and so it causes us to be hesitant to teach, and because I know what they believe, and I know where they're going, and I know what this, and so we keep our mouth shut and we don't say anything because we want our reunions to be good, and we want to be able to go to the holidays and without starting anything. But we got to remember, God comes first, and their soul's more important than just having a good relationship with one another. So anyways, I want to thank you for joining me today. Hope everybody has a blessed day. If the Lord's willing, I'll talk to you later.